for joining me today. I'm a huge fan of your work, and so I'm super excited to have you on my podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Again, so for the first part, can you please explain a little bit about yourself, your work, and what you do so others can know?
Sure. So my name is Mickey Joe, best known online as Mickey Joe Theatre, and I make theatre themed videos predominantly on YouTube. I like to think of myself as a professional theatre critic, but I do that sort of independently within the social media space. And lately, I've had the opportunity to travel around the world seeing lots of fun theatre.
That's awesome. And so, what got you into theater viewing and content creating?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've loved theatre for as long as I can remember, and I've always been very cerebral and analytical about it. And I think I was reviewing and writing about theatre before I even realized that that's what I was doing, just because I would go and see a lot of stuff by myself and like bore my parents talking to them about it. So I needed an outlet to express what I was thinking about those shows. And so when I was like 16, I think I had a theatre blog that I never shared anywhere and nobody ever needed to see, and probably troublingly still exists somewhere on the internet and no one will ever find out about. And it's just for as long as I've had social media as an individual, that's what Mickey Joe Theatre originally was. It was just like I got an Instagram account and I was like, what should I call myself? It's just theatre's been all I've wanted to talk about. I didn't even realize I was creating content for the longest time.
That's awesome. And so, is there a certain type of content you like to create, whether it's reviewing or talking about different things? Is there one that you prefer over the other?
Usually, whichever one I don't pressingly have to do seems more appealing. But if I could only do one thing, then it would be reviewing. I like when I do roundups and read a whole bunch of other reviews of shows, and I like vlogging and going to places and showing stuff. But if I could only do one thing, it would be sitting down and reviewing and just like digging into a show, and particularly something, even if I didn't enjoy it that much, something that I get to really just pick apart and really dissect is my favorite thing.
That's great. And I think something that you did recently was, which was super cool, is the Wicked Wednesday content,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
also super popular and super fun. So I
That
think
was
that
so
was
much fun.
like super cool, yeah. And so, is there a show you're looking forward to that is coming to London within the next year or two? And
Oh, what
why?
am I looking forward to coming to London? I mean, I get professionally excited about things because I know that they'll create a lot of buzz and a lot of interest. I mean, that's what Wicked was. Obviously, I was very excited to see the Wicked movie, but it also became kind of this global moment where so many people were talking about musical theatre. And so that was very exciting. And so on that front, I'm excited about Hercules coming to the West End because I saw it in New Jersey and I saw it in Germany, and so I'm excited to see it in London. But just personally as well, it's still not been officially announced, but we're getting Shucked over here in London this year, which I loved on Broadway
I'm
twice.
seeing that
So,
next Tuesday.
oh, amazing. Oh, fantastic. Oh, you're seeing the tour.
Yeah, I'm seeing it in Chicago, yeah.
I wish I could see that touring cast. Oh, I
It's
hope
a
you enjoy.
stacked cast,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
so good. And so, is there a certain show that you hope that is coming to London that hope announces a London run soon?
Oh, so many things. We're in an interesting place at the moment in London because a lot of successful musicals have opened and are just running. Like Moulin Rouge is doing very well, that's not going anywhere. And Mean Girls has just opened and is doing very well and is not going anywhere. So we're not getting much turnover of new shows, like is happening on Broadway, where every season is bringing a lot of new musicals. We're getting a lot of different play productions, which are also very exciting. But in the musical theatre realm, I'm excited about the possibilities of a lot of smaller things, like what might be happening at some of our kind of off West End spaces.
That's awesome. And so, is there any advice you would offer to people who want to start doing content creating?
I think, I mean, there's so many things. I think leading with passion is always, in terms of what's going to help people to engage with you and what's going to help you keep going, because it starts out really easy, and then the longer you do it, and especially if you try and do it consistently, there are days where you don't want to do it. And it's, I can't be bothered to have a shower so that my hair looks nice for a video, and I can't be bothered to go and film myself. And it's like, oh, it's really dark and the sun's setting at 3 today, and I've got such a limited time window. And so you can only make it about the things that you are already enthusiastic about because you will have that drive to do it. And that's what people respond to as well. When I was first making videos, the comments were people were excited because I seemed really enthusiastic, and that sort of reflected the love that they had for theatre.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, what advice would you give to your younger self if you could go back and give young Mickey advice?
Oh, so many things. Oh my gosh. Oh my, this could get very personal very quickly. Don't do maths at university. I, it weirdly, like nothing I do now was planned or something that I thought I would be able to do. Like I did not attempt to legitimately go into the theatre industry. And it's still like jury's out as to whether I am legitimately in the theatre industry now. But everything's happened in such a weird way that I wouldn't want to do anything differently. And so maybe just to worry less about that would be good advice.
Yeah, that's great. And so, you've been visiting New York a lot lately. And so, is there a certain show that stands out as one of your favorites that you've seen recently?
In New York
In New
specifically.
York specifically.
Oh, I'm so many great things. I mean, I'm a big fan of the current revival production of Sunset Boulevard, which is still in New York. But my absolute favorite is maybe Happy Ending,
Oh, I've heard
which
such great things about that.
it's so beautiful. It's so lovely. And it's my favorite thing about it is you can recommend it to anyone because it's this hybrid of like a Pixar movie and a Studio Ghibli film in sensibility. It's so charming. It's so smart. It's so sophisticated but down to earth. It's got such universal themes that charm and speak to everyone. I maintain there's no one that I could send to maybe Happy Ending who wouldn't enjoy it. And I don't think there's a show recently that I've had more comments about people saying, I went to go see this because you spoke so highly of it and I really loved it. Someone the other day said they've seen it 4 times, and the first visit was because I said it was really great. So I'm honored when that can happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, that wraps up the question portion, but I have a couple questions from the What's on Stage website, and we're going to do a little theater trivia that I do with others.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. The pressure.
Which Broadway and West End musical has the tagline "Believe" on its poster?
Um, oh, Ghost?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're the first person out of three people that have gotten that right.
Why did I want to say the Book of Mormon?
That's
Because
what
of the
everyone have
song.
guesses.
Yeah.
Which of these waitress pies have they made up? Time to Say Goodbye pie, Got My Vote rhubarb compote pie, red, white, and blueberry pie, marshmallow mermaid pie.
Which one's the real
Which
waitress pie
one?
that's in the
Which
show?
one did they make up?
Oh, only one of them's not real?
Only one of them's not real.
Oh my God. Oh, then I have no idea. Oh, the red, white, and blueberry?
It's the Time to Say Goodbye pie.
Ah, brutal.
Yeah. Which of these is not the name of a theater on both Broadway and the West End?
Okay.
Lyceum, Ambassador, Lyric, or Palace?
That's a really sneaky trick question, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because we both have lyceums, but they're so wildly different. Because our lyceum over here is where the Lion King is, and it's huge, and the Broadway lyceum is
It's
tiny,
tiny,
like
yeah.
one of the smallest. I just saw O'Mary there. That was the first thing I've ever seen there. The Lyric, Harry Potter on Broadway, and Hadestown in the West End. The Palace, of course, recently reopened on Broadway. Looks lovely. And Harry Potter in the West End. But it's the Ambassador because we have an ambassadors apostrophe S, and Broadway has an ambassador where Chicago is. And ours is really tiny. Ours would be like an off-Broadway house.
Is it
Ours is
like
very
Black
small.
Box?
It may as well be. It's a very small little West End theater.
Which of these U.S. sitcoms has Lin-Manuel Miranda not appeared in? You might not be able to get this one, but Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Parks and Recreation, and How I Met Your Mother.
So I know he's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I think he's been in Modern Family as well. Um, Parks and Rec and I mean, How I Met Your Mother was generally earlier. So I'm gonna go how I've seen all of it. I've seen the entirety of How I Met Your Mother. Okay, I'm gonna go with How I Met Your Mother.
Parks and Recreation.
Oh, it was Parks and Recreation. God damn it,
Which
Lynn.
of these numbers was cut off between the original Merry Long Broadway production and the 1994 Broadway revival? Growing Up, The Hills of Tomorrow, It's a Hit, and Opening Doors.
Oh, I nearly confused myself there. Growing Up was added into the show. The Hills of Tomorrow was cut.
Yes.
Merrily trivia. I'd have been devastated if I got that wrong.
Have you seen are you a fan of Merrily?
I love Merry, and I love the Broadway revival that was just
Yeah,
at
it's
the Hudson.
amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
At what month did Everybody Talking About Jamie play its first performance anywhere in the world?
Which month?
Yeah,
Which month? Oh, okay. It's okay. Maybe no. So it was at the Sheffield Crucible, and they do musicals in the summer, and then it's either going to have been July or November, I'm thinking. And where did it come? Where did it come around? I'm going to go with July.
September.
It was neither of those. Okay, fantastic. Good. Just neither. Wonderful.
According to his own website, seeing which musical with his aunt convinced Cameron McIntosh that he needed to become a Broadway producer. Is it Porgy and Bess, The Pajama Game, Damn Yankees, or Salad Days?
I think it was Salad Days.
That is correct.
Yeah. I have no trivia on that one. I just vaguely, yeah.
Which of these is a Act One song in Back to the Future on Broadway? Only a Matter of Time, For the Dreamers, and what is that? Wherever We're Going.
Wherever we're going, that one, wherever we're going, because it's him and his girlfriend on the bench.
It's that one and Only a Matter of Time. It was a trick question. It was
Oh, it's
Only a Matter of Time is opening.
oh, you're so right. You're so right. It's been a long time since I've been back to the future.
Is it still playing in London?
It is still playing in
It
London,
is.
yeah.
I was lucky enough to see the Broadway and touring. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah, I love both of them. They were both spectacular.
Oh, amazing. Did you see Casey Likes?
Yeah, I did.
He's so talented.
He's amazing. Like, and I'm pretty sure that was his Broadway debut.
He
Second.
did, it's his second one because he did Almost Famous.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But either way, he was perfect as Muddy.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
And Roger Butt as Doc is amazing too.
Yeah.
So, at which school was Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat first performed in 1968? I have options if you need them.
I'm waiting for, oh, I need
Uh,
options.
Colette Court, Tabernacle, Orchard House, and Woodland High.
What was the first one again?
Colette Court.
See, normally the trivia question is just like, where was it first performed? And the answer is a school. So the specificity is challenging. Oh,
I think at this school it was also filmed at for the pro shot.
oh, sure. Which I grew up watching hundreds of times. Do I know this piece of information? No, I do not. I could not tell you one from the other.
It is the Colette Court.
It's that one. It's that one. Now I'll know. Now I'll know forever.
Which of the four Gershwin children lived the longest? Ida, Arthur, George, or Francis?
I didn't even know there were four. What did Francis do?
No clue.
Was Francis Gershwin up to? Should I have been familiar with Francis Gershwin? Maybe it was Francis. I'm
It
going with
was.
Francis. Francis, amazing.
Okay, this one I've butchered it multiple times. It's a French saying. So, Mon
I believe in you.
Prince est un chemin de joux is the original French name for which number in Les Mis?
Always, I should so know this. Do it one more time.
Mon Prince est un chemin de joux.
I saw Les Mis in French last month, so there is
Really?
no excuse. I went to Paris. They've rewritten a lot of it, so a lot of the French lyrics have changed.
Do you know French?
Enough. But I'm just blanking here on every song from Les Mis because I'm too caught up in
I'll give you the options. So,
yeah.
A little fall of rain. I dreamed a
Uh-huh.
dream on my own. A castle on a cloud.
I see, those were basically the ones that I was going between. I don't think it's A Little Full of Rain, which is real intense in French, by the way. The French lyrics of Little Full of Rain are so
Really?
like she goes, oh yeah, yeah. She's like way sadder in French. Um, the Dream to Dream is like Rêve un rêve. I don't, yeah. On my own is Mon Histoire. So Castle on the Cloud.
That is correct.
Oh, we got there. Oh my gosh, my life flashed before my eyes.
Which show won the Tony Award for Best Musical despite containing no original musical live singing? The Will Rogers Folly, Contact, Fiorello, or Matthew Bono's Edward Scissorhand?
That would be Contact.
That is correct.
Yeah, controversial at the time.
Hmm. According to Operation Yellow Ribbon and covered in the musical Come From Away, how many residents were housed in Gander, Newfoundland in 9/11?
This is another thing I should know because I went to Gander last summer and met all of the people, or met most of the people that are depicted in the show and
I want to
immersed
see the Gander
myself.
production of that so bad. It looks so good.
It's lovely, but just as wonderful as seeing the production is experiencing it with an audience who are all from there because they interact with it differently. They still love it, but in the way that an audience anywhere else in the world would be so charmed by their behavior, they don't find themselves remarkable because it's just
Who
who
they
they
are.
are and what they do.
And I mean, you got to
Um,
go to like the spots of the show too, like the what Stop the World is,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, but I didn't attempt to answer the question. How many was it? How many
How many were housed in Gander following 9/11?
in Gander specifically? There's a line where they kind of say it towards the end of the show. They say 7,000 strays. So I'm going to say approx 7,000, but that could have been all of Newfoundland. You tell me.
So the answer, there were two options. It was 7,600 and 6,600. It was 6,600.
Fine, fine. Not
So
a
close
million
enough.
miles off. Yeah, we'll take it.
What is reportedly the last musical number of Rodgers and Hammerstein ever wrote together?
Oh,
Do
I
you,
don't know. Do I have options? Give me
I
some
can give you,
options.
yeah. Something Wonderful, Edelweiss, In My Own Little Corner, A Some Enchanted Evening.
Something Wonderful was written for the film. No, it's not. That's King and I. I'm thinking of Something Good. Something Good and Something Wonderful. That nearly led me astray. Edelweiss, original Sound of Music, King and I think In My Own Little Corner, I think Cinderella on TV may have been later than the stage shows, but I actually don't know. Is that correct?
It was Edelweiss.
It was
It
Edelweiss.
was, yeah.
Wow, that's the last thing that, wow, what a banger to go out on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Out of the seven nominations, how many Tony Awards has Patti LuPone won? One, zero, one, two, or three?
Okay, we're going to go through this chronologically. So she won for Evita. She did not win for Anything Goes. She won for Gypsy, and that was the second time she won because she said during her speech it had been like 29 years or whatever. And then she won again for Company. So three.
It is two.
When was this quiz? I'm gonna hold on.
I have no clue. This was on the website. Let's ask Siri.
I'm taking it so, no, I'm sorry. I'm too intense. I need to calm down.
How many Tony Awards has Patti LuPone won? Okay, it is three, yes. So this is outdated. She
It's
has
two for
one,
leading actress, and
and
it's
then she
one for
also has
supporting.
won two Oliver Awards. Olivier.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So, uh, which of these is not one of the names of Sophie's potential fathers in Mamma Mia?
Uh-huh.
Bill, Eddie, Sam, or Harry?
Eddie.
That is correct. And one question I forgot to ask for some reason. What advice do you have for somebody who is stage drawing for the first time?
Who
You
is
just
what,
went,
sorry?
what advice do you have someone stage drawing for the first time?
Oh, stage dooring
You
for the
just went
first.
over this in a
Oh,
video, and it was a very interesting video. I loved that video.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's sadly it was prompted by a lot of just like troubling stage door
Especially
behavior.
recently.
Yeah. For someone who's stage dooring for the first time, especially if you might be nervous about it, I would say on Broadway, don't worry if it looks like a big crowd, especially if you want like a playbill signed or something. If you hold it high and over, like they will get to you, and people tend to disperse like as the person that they wanted to meet has passed or whatever. So like sticking it out, like crowds aren't as bad as they look.
Mhm.
But just generally to everyone, just to be kind and to be courteous and respectful, and to just say nice things to performers and just to enter into it. This is like 4 or 5 different pieces of advice now. To enter into it with low expectations and then possibly be pleasantly surprised. But there's no guarantee that anyone might be there or anything might happen. But maybe you'll have a lovely little end to your theatre going experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I'd like to thank you for joining me today. That wraps up the interview.
Thank you for having me.